There was a morning Dana almost didn't notice. Then she watched Biscuit hesitate at a few small steps he used to take without thinking. He used to bound down these 3 steps without a second thought. Now he stops, weighs the drop, and looks for another way. Their morning walk used to end in 10 minutes. Lately it stretches past 20, with pauses that have nothing to do with sniffing the grass. His favorite spot has always been the middle couch cushion. Now he presses his paws against it and stops there, unable to make the final push-up. When the kids next door start their game of fetch, he used to be first through the gate. Now he watches from the doorway instead. For a few seconds each morning, the house goes quiet. Not peaceful quiet, the kind where you're both just watching to see what he'll do next. She hadn't scheduled anything, but after the 3rd stumble on the porch steps, she found herself parked outside the clinic without quite deciding to be. Watch closely, and you'll see it. When he stands still, more of his weight rests on his front legs than it used to, like he's bracing for something. At the dog park, the other regulars still race for the gate. He used to lead the pack. Now he waits at the edge, watching them go.
Sitting on the porch steps that evening, she finally asked a question she'd been avoiding. Is this just getting older, or something he actually needs help with?
That night, before turning off the porch light, she made a decision. She was going to figure out exactly what his body was telling her. Kitchen tile is slicker than it used to be for him. His back paw slides mid-step, and for a second his whole body drops before he catches himself. Getting into the car used to be a single hop. Now he circles the open door twice, gauging the height, before she finally lifts his back half herself. Some nights, she hears him shifting on his bed at 3 in the morning, trying every position, unable to find the one that doesn't ache. There's a foldable ramp leaning against the garage wall, bought months ago after his first stumble. It's still there, unused because he refuses to trust it. Without really deciding to, she started taking the shorter route to the mailbox. Fewer curbs, fewer uneven patches of sidewalk, fewer chances for him to falter. He's never snapped at anyone, but when a neighbor's kid reached to hug him around the hips last week, he flinched and let out a low growl. His squeaky tennis ball used to disappear the moment it hit the floor. Now it sits by the couch leg for days, untouched, gathering a thin layer of dust. Even at the grocery store, her mind kept drifting back to him. She found herself searching senior dog mobility on her phone between the cereal aisle and checkout. 2 weeks after that first hesitation, the same 3 steps take him nearly a full minute now, each paw placed with visible calculation. On the last step, his back leg buckles completely. For half a second, he's falling. Then her arm is already there, catching his weight before he hits the floor. That was the moment. Not the vet visit before, not the stumbling on stairs. This exact second, finger hovering over confirm, was when she stopped hoping it would pass. Looking back at her week, the pattern was impossible to ignore anymore. Not one bad day, but a steady, quiet decline written across every single one. At the clinic, Doc Marsh ran her hands along his hips and spine, feeling for the things a home observation alone couldn't tell them. On the light box, the X, Ray told a clearer story, narrowing joint space in both hips, the kind of wear that builds slowly over a decade. Cartilage works like a cushion between bones. In a healthy joint, that cushion absorbs shock. In an aging joint, it thins, and bone begins meeting
As you
bone.
can see, the cartilage is
It
worn
isn't
down,
one
causing
injury.
friction and pain.
It's 10 years of stairs, 10 years of jumping onto the couch, Ordinary movements that quietly wear down what was never meant to last forever. Even a few extra pounds change the math. More weight pressing down on already worn joints means more friction, more inflammation, more days that end in stiffness. Less movement over time means less muscle supporting the joint. Dr. Marsh pointed out how much thinner his hindquarters had become compared to his front. His limp isn't random. He's shifting more weight onto his front legs to protect the back ones, a compensation pattern that eventually strains his shoulders too. Joints stiffen overnight without movement to keep them lubricated, which is why the first 10 minutes after waking are often his hardest of the entire day. Aging also slows the signal between brain and paw. A split-second delay in placing a foot correctly is enough to turn an uneven patch of ground into a stumble. At the park, she started noticing it in other senior dogs too. The same forward, weighted stance, the same hesitation on curbs, a pattern repeating across many backyards. The hips don't work alone. Dr. Marsh traced how a limp in the back legs pulls tension up through the spine, sometimes to the neck. None of this happened overnight, and none of it was anyone's fault. It was simply the slow, ordinary math of a long, well-lived life. Dogs hide pain well, an instinct from the wild. So Dr. Marsh used a specific pressure test along his joints to find what his behavior alone
moderate
would
joint
reveal.
narrowing and the Siddelicon marsh.
Left unaddressed,
And the
the
two foot
compensation
first steps
pattern
back
doesn't
and
stay
move
stable.
dorsomacales
It usually
part
worsens,
in time
placing
to
more
win the
strain
marsh.
on healthy joints until they wear down too.
The
Then,
X-rays
Dr.
look
said
good,
the sentence
Dana.
that mattered
Everything
most.
is stable.
This isn't the end of his mobility. It's the beginning of managing it differently. She left the clinic that day, not with more worry, but with an actual plan in hand. And for the first time in weeks, that felt like progress. The first fix she tried was the obvious one, over-the-counter pain relief. It dulled the limp for a few hours, but masked the problem instead of solving it. Worried about further injury, she tried the opposite extreme, keeping him inside all day. Within a week, his muscles weakened further from lack of any movement at all.
It's okay.
She finally tried the ramp properly, guiding him onto it step by step. He backed off it 3 times, more unsettled by its unfamiliar give than by the stairs themselves. She bought 3 different joint supplements in 1 week, stacking them on the counter, hoping one of them alone might undo 10 years of gradual wear. For a while, she just carried him, up the stairs, into the car, across the yard. It worked, until her back gave out before his legs did. Some nights, she'd fall into hours of conflicting articles online, each one contradicting the last, until she closed the laptop, no closer to an answer than before. For nearly 2 weeks, walks stopped altogether. It felt safer, but without any movement, his joints stiffened further, and his mood dulled along with them. Somewhere in all of it, she started blaming herself. For the stairs she let him use for years, for not noticing sooner, for every well-meant fix that hadn't worked. The support harness she ordered online didn't fit right, riding up under his front legs and restricting his stride instead of assisting it. Scrolling through videos of other senior dogs thriving only made her second guess her own timeline, wondering if she was moving too slowly or too fast. After the harness, the ramp, the supplements, and the carry-in, there was one morning she almost stopped trying anything new at all. When she called Dr. Marsh again, the advice was simple. Stop guessing and start with the one tool designed specifically for what he's going through. This appointment felt different from the start. Not another test, but a fitting. Someone measuring him for something built specifically to help him move again. The first clear sign a wheelchair might help: dragging or scuffing back paws, visible wear on the nails from feet that no longer lift the way they should. The second sign, hindquarters that suddenly give out during normal standing, not from injury, but from muscles simply no longer able to hold the position. And the third, hesitation on stairs or surfaces the dog has crossed 1,000 times before. A quiet signal the body no longer trusts what it used to. The design is simpler than she expected.
And these side rails here,
it supports the
they're
hindquarters
fully
while letting the front
adjustable
legs
to
do what
make
they
sure
still
he's
do well.
comfortable and supported.
Unlike the harness that never fit right, this one was adjusted piece by piece around him, each strap checked twice before he took a single step. His first few steps in it were clumsy, legs unsure of the new rhythm. Nobody expected grace immediately, and nobody pretended otherwise. Back home, she rearranged a few things too. A softer bed by the window, a shorter first walk in the morning, small adjustments that added up. With guidance from the specialist, the same ramp finally worked, angled lower this time. With traction strips, he could actually feel beneath his paws. She learned to read his early signals, the slight weight shift, the pause before a step, and respond calmly instead of anxiously. Walks didn't stop, they just changed shape. Shorter distances, smoother terrain, and a slower pace that still gave him the movement his joints needed. The wooden deck steps that once stopped him completely were no match for the ramp extension built into his new routine, and he crossed them without a pause. At the park, he no longer waits at the edge. He rolls in alongside the others, and for the first time in months, he's part of the group again. She still keeps notes, but they read differently now. Steadier gait today, full lap around the yard, small checkpoints instead of small worries.
The wheelchair.
The specialist was clear about one thing: adjustment takes a few weeks, not a few days, and that patience is part of the process, not a sign of failure. That evening looked almost ordinary. Dinner, a short walk, him settling into his bed by the window, except now, ordinary didn't feel fragile anymore. 3 months later, those same 3 steps that once stopped him completely are just steps again, crossed without hesitation, without a second thought. Their morning walk isn't measured in minutes anymore. No pauses to track, no worried glances back, just a walk again, unremarkable in the best possible way. The ramp that once spooked him after 3 attempts is now just part of his day, used without a flinch, trusted the way the stairs once were. At his follow-up drug,
the new treatment is working.
Marsh said
the
his muscle
inflammation is
tone had
almost
improved.
gone.
His joints were more stable, and honestly, he seemed happier than he'd been in over a year. What changed wasn't just how he moved. It was the two of them again, walking the same yard together, without either one bracing for what might go wrong. These days, mornings look almost exactly like they used to, just with a little extra hardware and a lot more peace of mind for both of them. If this helped you recognize the signs in your own dog, tell us in the comments, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more stories like theirs.